and welcome to the 5th episode of the V-Spot with me, Robert.
And Roberta.
And today we will be talking about...
Vegan masculinity, vegan men.
Vegan men, yes.
So why should we speak about vegan masculinity? Why do we feel the need?
Yes, well, there's a massive disproportion between the number of vegan men and vegan women.
Okay, let's put this into in consideration that there are approximately 79 million people vegan globally.
Wow, that's larger than most countries, if you were to put them all into one place.
Yes, and I'm sure there are more ladies than men.
Yes, there tends to be about for every 3 women there would be 1 man, something like that.
And why do you think it's the reason?
I would say definitely there's an element, a socio-psychological element that women, it's more accepted that women are more in contact with their feelings.
Okay.
So the fact that women can express their emotions more and they're more in contact with their feelings, they can easily more connect with the animals.
But I believe, and I've met some men apart from you who are very much connected with their feelings, and it's not something that, abnormal.
Yes, in fact, then I would put a large chunk of why is this incessant conditioning.
Yes.
That to be masculine, one needs to eat meat. We're bombarded with this marketing, advertising, because that's what it is.
Yes,
a message for commercial gain. That's what marketing is.
Definitely.
And bombarded with this marketing that to be masculine, you need to eat meat, and more specifically red meat. For some reason, they chose that one.
Obviously, this is something very personal, but when I see, irrelevant if it's men or women, but when they eat meat, it's far from being a woman and far from being a man, definitely.
Yes, and especially because in today's world, we really don't need to, we're far from that day and age. As many of you may know, I'm a history buff, so I'm very conscious about our past and where we came from, and we're far from the day and age where we need to kill and eat animals to survive and be healthy. We're very far from that.
Yes, and definitely we don't need the animals to be healthy, definitely. On the contrary, they bring a lot of diseases like cholesterol with their saturated fat. So definitely you will improve your health by not choosing the animals.
Yes, and we'll also be having something different today. We'll be having an interview later on. Can you tell us a bit more about that, Roberta?
Yes, I've interviewed an athlete, a vegan athlete, who he's not the typical, because sometimes if you're a vegan, it's like they imagine a hippie, a tree hugger.
Yes.
And this is not definitely a tree hugger. I don't know, maybe he is, but we don't know. But
it doesn't fit the stereotype,
not
let's
at
put
all.
it that way.
I mean, he's muscular, he's very, he's a male who loves sport, and he eats a whole food plant-based diet. So
yes, and he does all kinds of calisthenics, if I got that word right.
He's amazing. I think he's one of the top athletes in his field. So
yes, we'll be getting on that a bit later on.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, you obviously as a nutritionist can answer this like much more than I could anyway. When it comes to masculinity and actually meat, protein. So this whole notion of meat and protein, and to obviously, because since we're talking about masculinity, muscles come into play.
Yes, I think the most worry that men have is, where do I get my protein? Because I got a lot of male calls, and they wanted to do an appointment after they watched The Game Changer.
Yes, an aptly named documentary. They couldn't name it better, actually.
Because they did a really good job to highlight vegan masculinity, basically.
Yes.
And athletes, etc. And the only issue is that men, because we're talking about men, they don't believe that, or they don't have the knowledge that, okay, you are going to cut off your meat, your fish, but with what replacement?
Yes.
Okay. And replacements, there are loads, namely like nuts, seeds, and tofu, tempeh, seitan, which are very, very high in protein. And the most important thing, because many people are very concerned about protein, but we don't need that much protein even if you're an athlete, okay? Sometimes, unfortunately, we are having too much protein and we are really putting stress on our kidneys and other organs. So obviously you calculate according to your lifestyle how much protein you need, and basically you can get everything from plants. The most important thing is to vary your diet. Most people don't do that.
Yes. And that actually takes us to today's sponsor.
Yes, and whoever knows me, he knows that I don't really promote protein powders, because I believe you can have everything from plants. But sometimes if you're really, really into sports or athletes, I think you need to oomph a bit. Whenever I'm gonna talk about myself, when I used to go really, really hardcore gym, I used to use certain products, even, lack of time to prepare food, because life is crazy sometimes,
Well, when is it not crazy?
Yes, but obviously prioritize your food, definitely. Yes. But whenever I'm training really, really hard, I really like these products, which I will mention, and why. They are Purition. Yes. And basically they are from Flavours For Health. And why? First of all, because they don't use any nasty stuff. And we have these problems that with the protein shakes, even if you're not vegan and you're using whey protein, it is horrible. If you want to know how much horrible and how much unhealthy it is, go on nutritionfacts.org from Dr. Greger, okay?
Definitely.
And he will explain everything about whey. It's a big molecule. It will really, really put stress on your liver because it's a heavy molecule, and it's full of saturated fats, cholesterol, etc. So,
not to mention it's a waste product.
It's the waste product of their industry. So whenever you need to, even just for the taste, some clients just want these because they taste good, you know?
Yes. I can attest to that.
Yes. And basically you can read the ingredients. When you see funny ingredients, and most people don't really read ingredients, which make me angry.
Yes, you need to know what you're putting inside your body, you know?
Yes,
it's extremely important.
I'm gonna read like pea, pumpkin, sunflower, and hemp, golden linseed, which is flax, sunflower kernels, hazelnut, coconut, coca, elements, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, nutrition yeast, psyllium husk, apple pectin, natural flavorings, and stevia. So
that's
basically
amazing. That's
you can
really
read
amazing.
Them. No additives, no preservatives, and it's yummy. Usually I don't get this. I like the raw sport because they have also the BCAA, which are amino acids.
Yes. And why would we need like BCAAs? What
I mean,
they do?
They give you slightly more energy. Basically, that's it. But I'm not gonna say that you need protein powders to gain muscle. But for example, like in my case, I use them mainly when I'm having a heavy day of work and maybe I missed a meal and, take this before a workout.
As a stopgap measure,
Yes, to boost me a bit. And then I'll do an amazing workout. And then I eat my, the normal meal.
Yes. You should always, I think you support the claim that you should always get your, whatever they are, macros, you should always get them from the food rather than,
Yes.
as much as possible.
Yes, definitely. But some people really, I'm going to say the word, depend on these things because life is crazy.
Life is so
sometimes
crazy.
I meet clients who have just finished work. They come for the appointment and they're going straight to the gym.
Yes.
So this would be amazing with some water or even plant milk. You just shake it up in the shaker. And honestly, the raw sport, really, I can
endorse.
Yes, definitely. It will really boost you up.
Love the packaging, by the way. I always look at the packaging. It's really nice. I love the packaging.
Basically, it will give you the boost because it has like maca powder too. I'm gonna mention some few things, which the baobab powder, which is amazing. I love it. The konja fiber, which is a type of plant which really fills your stomach, so you feel like you've eaten a big meal. And there's some bars too.
Yes, if you're like on the go, as we were mentioning, on the go, like we have
the cookies.
These
are more your stuff, actually.
Like if you've grown up with me, like me, with Sesame Street.
Really?
It's like
never watched that.
The Cookie Monster, the Muppets. I was like nom nom nom, So I always enjoy seeing vegan and gluten-free cookies, which these are really amazing, by the way. We have an almond chocolate cookie,
and it has 6 grams of plant protein. So
yes, and once again, very important, you can actually read the ingredients. You don't need to know some weird kind of Latin to get there.
Please, people, even if you're you're vegan, you don't have to just look at the vegan sign and you're okay with it.
Yes, veganism is not automatically equal healthy.
Yes, let's prioritize health as usual. So read the ingredients, please.
And here we have, so apart from the chocolate hazelnut protein powder, and we have the raw sport protein powder.
I really love these, honestly.
Yes. Did you say baobab earlier?
Yes.
Baobab is that huge tree, no?
Yes.
Amazing.
It's very rich in vitamin C, which vitamin C will really make your immune system.
Especially these days, we're in the winter season now, always important to get our immunity up.
Just oomph your immunity, okay?
Yes,
with food.
Yes. It's our line of defense against weird stuff. So we also, for something a bit more on the go, literally, we have an almond chocolate
And
cookie.
be honest, these products, you always get them after a long day of university, and we meet maybe for some work together.
Yes.
And
they're like a pick me up. I think that's the.
You always
phrase.
grab the cookie.
I always go for the cookies, but sometimes I go for the bars. I can't say I can't go for the bars. They're amazing. I mean, here we have peanut butter jelly. Like, who doesn't like PBJs?
I think you should. You deserve one today because he's done all the housework today, which I appreciate.
Yes, it's a team effort.
It's true.
Kitchen, house is not the wife's realm; it's the relationships realm. And the man does some, the woman does the some, and sometimes you do both together.
Yes.
So it's to me it's as it should be.
And it doesn't make you less man,
No, auntie.
Not at all.
Auntie, it makes you more.
Definitely.
Boys listening at home, men listening at home, like lift your weight,
Definitely.
She'll appreciate as she should.
So you're taking the
salted caramel
or
today.
The peanut butter jelly?
Salted caramel, for sure.
Have you ever tasted that flavor?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Coated in Belgian dark chocolate before we go on to the interview.
Yes, do the honors. Yes.
This is why we have incisors, by the way, so we can open packets, not so we can eat meat.
It looks like a normal chocolate, kind of.
It looks like an amazing normal chocolate bar.
Ingredients?
As you can see there.
It's high in fiber.
Can I dig in?
Obviously. No artificial, gimmicks and everything. So yes, if you're on the go, definitely Flavor for Health. Go on their website.
Remember, there's a chocolate that's named after the planet of the war, the god of war.
Yes, yes, yes.
Exactly the same taste.
I mean, you can read the ingredients. That's amazing. If you don't read the ingredients, you can't pronounce them. Just put it back on the shelf. Okay. So as we said earlier, we have Stefano, an amazing guy from Italy
Viva
who lives,
l'Italia!
yes, who lives in Spain now, and he is the typical. I mean, I'm sure you won't,
No, not at all.
but has a gorgeous body. All right.
Hey, if he put the work and he looks hot, he looks hot. Come on.
And he's vegan for the animals too, and that
makes you more hot.
Yes, yes.
You know, just like a woman, if she's vegan for the animals, that's an added bonus. Like amazing, more brownie points. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so let's get into the interview. Enjoy, and we'll
see you after.
Yes. Hi, Stefano. Welcome to this interview. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Sure. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Stefano. I'm a calisthenics coach, and I help vegans. Vegans men mainly build muscle and shred fat. And I'm Italian. I travel right now. I'm living in Spain, in Gijón, and I'm planning to move in south of Spain. And I also do some work with activism, animal rights, mainly.
In Spain?
Say again?
You're staying in Spain?
Yeah, I think I'm going to say, yeah. The plan is staying here. I like Spain. It's sunny. And it's kind of like Italy, but a bit more open-minded, I would say. Yes. That's why I like it.
Yes. So, and you're a vegan. I can see the tattoo right there.
Yes. And I got this actually before my first vegan activist event. So, it kind of marked something in my life that I wanted to put passion in it. And the day before this event with Anonymous for the Voiceless, which is basically the Cube of Truth when you show slaughterhouse footages and talk with people, I decided to do this tattoo before just because I wanted to mark this beginning and this mission of mine.
Yes, we do it here in Malta, and I've been taking part in it too, to do outreach and to show people the reality. It's just the reality, okay? And I wanted to ask you, when and why did you go vegan?
Yeah, I think these have like two main parts. And because in the beginning, what happened, basically I had two stops in my life, like kind of getting out of the loop of working and, weekend and working. And the first stop that I have quieter time was when I decided to go travel in Asia. I did this with my ex-girlfriend. We traveled for 3 months, and what I noticed there in Asia was how more visible is the impact of humans on nature. And because there is less law enforcement and different mentality, however, you could see how rubbish was not managed very well. How, for example, there are a lot of beaches. There were a lot of people using boats in order to flying parachutes, on top, and there was just no control. And I was seeing also deforestation as well when I was going through the mountains. And then something else happened. I got sick,
Okay.
from eating something. So I got diarrhea, fever. I was not feeling good. But in these days, when I wasn't feeling good, I decided to watch some documentaries. I watched Cowspiracy, and it was mind blowing. Like I didn't know that this was happening in the world, that we're destroying it so much, and that animal agriculture was the main part of it. So I just didn't want to be part of that. And because I'm always being someone that want to think with his own mind, and I never really liked the system. I've always been a bit of a rebel. This has been kind of a light, and saying, no, I definitely don't want to be part of that. And this is, and it kind of stopped there. I wouldn't say stopped there at the environment. The thing is, it was so shocking for me that we are destroying the planet to such a level that I started to look at other things about the environment, and I stopped there in that moment. So I was vegan for the environment, right? And by being vegan for the environment, I actually wasn't. I would say I wasn't 100% vegan, because I once per year, in my first 2 years vegan, I was actually eating some animal products, because if there was one thing that I missed from a non-vegan diet, is fish and mussels and the prawns. So I was having that for New Year, like special day, like I'm doing enough, right? I'm doing enough. If everyone would do like me, that's great. You wouldn't have that problem. But the problem was I wasn't seeing the individual inside that prawn. I was just not connecting about it. And I think because I had a dog too.
Okay.
But I still didn't have that deep empathy with my dog. And I think that's coming from probably when I was young. I saw like some pigs being killed in a farm, and that my neighborhood, they had rabbits and chickens in cages. So I probably labeled animals as products, or as inferiors to us.
Yes.
That's why for me, maybe it's been difficult to make that connection, because some people, they go vegan just by empathy, like random. They realize they don't wanna eat animals.
It was my case. Yes.
Yeah. No, for me, I needed more. I needed to understand more. I needed someone to brainwash me back, into it. And here comes the second time my life stopped. It's basically with COVID. With COVID, I lost my job in the gym as a personal trainer, and I've been alone for a small period. And I actually, because when I was working at the gym as a personal trainer, actually I couldn't work only with vegans. It's impossible, right? Sure. But when I started the online stuff and creating a niche, these made me decide to, okay, so now I can really be myself and do the things the way I want to do them. So let's dig more into veganism, what really is. So I went and listened to activists. I wanted to know what they were doing, and the first thing that I noticed was that they weren't talking about environment, or yes, but that was not the point of the conversation. They were talking about ethics, the moral, the immoral act of buying animal products, and just basically listening to their words, like, they're the same of us. They just not communicate with us because they are different. They are small persons inside experiencing life, and so all of these logic things and simple things, but they really got into me, especially then when I went to look at slaughterhouse footage. And this was I had some how do you call it, eureka moment, you
made a connection, basically.
Yeah, and I had a week when I was really feeling sad about watching these animals in cages, and I was thinking, man, like they're having horrible experience, and they just cannot communicate the same way, and that's why people don't care about them. And so, yeah, so that was the moment where I had that fully ethical connection. And then when I decided that I wanted to do an activist as well in this journey. And so, yeah, and now I've been vegan for 4 years. Yes. And I think one year has been the ethical connection.
Yes, yes. And I see that you really mention animals in your stories and in your posts. So you're in it for the environment, I'm sure for the health too, and now even for the animals. And, you know, the triple R's are there now.
Yeah, absolutely. Environment and health. No, I just think that when we talk about veganism with someone, it comes down, like you can talk about environment and health, but some people can easily not care about them.
It's true.
You know, they cannot care about their health. They don't care about the environment. But when it comes to harming another sentient being, then you need to take responsibility somehow. Realizing that you either don't care or you're doing something wrong and you need to change if you care.
And nowadays we don't need animal products because we are so very fortunate to find everything vegan. So why should we harm others?
Yeah.
I wanted to speak about your passion, which is calisthenics. Oh, it's
calisthenics. Calisthenics.
Yes. Can you explain what it is and why is your passion?
Why is my passion? Yeah, basically I come from a sport background. I did MMA, tennis, karate. I did taekwondo, badminton as well. Okay. And but then when I grew up, I just didn't want to focus on sports anymore. I wanted to live my life a bit more. So I started to train in the gym. So it became more weight, started to travel. So definitely the gym was the only thing that was more flexible to stay fit and keep training. But that passion went away because obviously gym, yes, I was happy with gaining muscle for sure, but I lost that passion that you get when you're doing sports, when you're doing something and that's more skilled. And something specific in my life happened that got me into calisthenics, is that lower back pain. So before being a personal trainer, I was a bartender, and spending long hours and then lifting stuff when I was at work, I was also I wanted to work very hard when I was at work, so I was overdoing it probably, and that's why also I got this lower back problem, and I couldn't lift weights. So I had this year fighting with doctors and physios. Basically, everyone was telling me that I couldn't do lots of things. I cannot jump, I cannot run, I cannot go bike. Like, you are crazy, man. I'm going to go into depression. I need to train.
Of course.
So after 1 year of struggle, I said, okay, so let's do only body weight, because even before I was doing some bodyweight exercises, motivated from guys like Bar Brothers, Hannibal for King. Those are guys that were into fitness in the 2000 years and doing YouTube videos. So I decided to get back to training and doing it only with the body weight. I was in London, and there's a big community there in London. So I actually saw people doing cool stuff with their body weight, and this is how I fall in love with it. And I realized that it was not giving me an impact on my lower back. Mm-hmm. So I was able to keep training again, and the passion came to the fact that you are learning how to move your body. It's more fun, it's more challenging. It's full of different type of exercises that you can use. You can use to progress. The community is also cool stuff, and it's actually calisthenics that motivated me to become a personal trainer. Yeah, because when it was, as of right now, I understand that now there's people that need a personal trainer anyway. But when I was 20 years old and going to the gym, and I was doing my bench press, my push-ups, chest flies, and tricep push down. I was thinking, why people would need a personal trainer? It's simple. So that's why calisthenics made me, okay, this is more complicated. It would be fun to help people doing this.
Yes, why not? Why not?
And then this is how calisthenics became my passion. Yes.
And that's very nice that we can have our passion as our job too. It's amazing.
100%. Like this, definitely something that I've learned in the past year with COVID.
Definitely. So I wanted to ask you, did you change your nutrition overnight to plant-based, or was it gradual?
No, I know I didn't do it the right way. Yeah, it basically went overnight. While I was in Asia, I decided I wanted to be vegan, and I was basically eating rice and vegetables, or noodles and vegetables there. Obviously, there were some adjustments that I didn't know. Like, for example, I kept having pesto for like 3 months until I realized, wait a second, is that Parmesan inside pesto? And I checked the label, and it was actually cheese in there. But mainly,
mistakes.
Yeah. And so yes, like it was pretty straightforward, my change. And but I did went through some problems because of this, and mainly because obviously I was coming from a simple way of eating bodybuilding styles, carbs, meat, and some vegetables. Sometimes no vegetables. Sometimes was just
basically
bread and hamburger. Yeah.
Chicken and rice all the time, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, so when I went vegan, I was training a lot because it happened the same time with calisthenics. So and gym. So it happens more or less in the same time. And basically substituting vegetables with meat dropped my calories drastically. And I went through a period of very low energy levels. I'm talking about I was waking up tired. I was tired during the day, and I was going to sleep tired. My libido went down. And after 3 months of this, because obviously it was consistent caloric deficit, like it was a consistent restriction of calories. I think I was eating less than 2,000 calories some days, and I was probably burning 4,000 or more calories. You know, I weighed 80 kilograms and low body fat, so there was not enough. and then headache started as well. And I finally read a book about plant-based. It's called Plant-Based Sport Nutrition.
Okay.
Annette Larson, I think it's called, the lady, and she was actually talking about what can be the symptoms of a sustained caloric restriction. And I was seeing myself in those problems. So I checked my calories, and I realized that I wasn't eating enough. I was eating sometimes just potatoes and lentils. You know, potatoes at the end of the day, they're very low in calories. So, and that was that was the main problem that I went through. And so
you learned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely suggest it, but because I try to do it by myself, like not even doing as much as research. I didn't do much research. So anyone that's going vegan, do some research, or even
definitely
you get free help if you want to go vegan as well in nutrition. So
yes, there is a lot of help online, and even there are a lot of nutritionists which are plant-based, which are vegan. So we have help everywhere nowadays. And from your personal experience, what are the major benefits of a plant-based nutrition?
Yeah, so definitely the beginning was not good, but actually after that, the main benefit, I think, is my energy level. My energy levels are consistent always. I don't, of course, I feel tired some days more than other, but what I find my energy throughout the day specifically are always good. Like I never feel like heavy after a meal as you would feel after eating a lot of meat, for example. Yeah, definitely after that, you would feel tired. And another benefit that as well, I want to definitely relate this to a vegan diet is I've always been a sick kid. Like I have bronchopulmonitis when I was a kid. I was in a hospital, be diagnosed with asthma, take a bunch of medication until, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years old. Now I don't take any medication. Not only because of vegan diet, but because I decided myself that I wanted to fight asthma with sport too, rather than relying on this thing.
Yes.
But the thing is, I was getting sick, like high fever every year, I'd say once or twice per year, fever, flu, feeling bad, and I was actually every year I was scared to get sick because I knew it was going to happen. And now it's not happening. Like literally, since I went vegan, I didn't get sick apart from COVID. But I think it's also because it's a new virus. I guess now that my immune system it's ready, I'll probably fight it better.
Yes, and that's the beauty of a plant-based diet, obviously done correctly, because you can be a junk food vegan, which is not okay, but your immune system really goes up high, and you can fight diseases much easier, Do you miss any non-vegan food nowadays?
Like when I was vegan for the environment, yes, and in fact I was eating, but I guess since now I don't see the food and the taste anymore. It kind of reminds me what's behind it, and it disgusts me really. And it's not the food itself that disgusts me; it's what's behind. So right now I wouldn't say I miss anything. No. Sometimes I might have these moments where I actually see or smell some foods and it's good, but I also know that the reason is that all around us it's non-vegan food. If it would be nice and tasty vegan food and it smells everywhere, it would be the same. So I think like as of right now, after all these years, I don't really miss anything. No.
The taste buds will adjust eventually after some weeks and even some months. So, you get used to it. And I see that you help a lot of men to build lean muscle from really skinny ones. You let people to, gain muscle when they are very skinny. Tell us a bit about your approach.
Yeah, so basically I had vegan men at the beginning, let's say at the beginning of their journey, right? And most guys that come to me that perhaps they've tried something, but they struggle to understand, to have a proper method and in terms of training and nutrition. So the pillars of my nutrition is it's important to both maximize health and also optimize the micronutrients. So I do base the diet on a whole plant foods diet, taking different categories of food and implementing seeds, nuts, grains, legumes. And this way I optimize macronutrients and also make sure that we reduce deficiencies. And another thing that I think it's important, it's balance and sustainability. Okay, so you're not going to prioritize your fitness goals if you're going to have ice cream and fries every day. But I use a cheat day method that's have been working for me since I started training. Basically, this is how I trained. I ate mainly. So basically, then we have a caloric target 6 days a week. That's a bit lower. Whether it's whether they're on a deficit or on a normal calorie, they will eat a bit less calories 6 days per week, and then they can eat those calories on Saturday or whatever it is. So this creates a more sustainable habit for future. So 6 days disciplined, 1 day you've got more freedom.
Definitely.
And it's a full body weight approach. Okay, no gym, no weights. Everything can be done at home.
Use your body.
And yes, few equipment that like pull-up bar, bands, and rings. And the important thing is if you're going to build muscle and strength with your own body weight, you're going to have to do the things right. Like the jumping jacks and burpees, they won't build muscle. So I have a progressive way of intensify the workout and prioritizing the technique. So assigning exercises that are good for your strength level so you can focus on form, increase the volume by adding repetitions of these exercises. And then this way, when we move towards more advanced exercises, you can keep prioritizing the form. And this is what builds muscle, this increase on the difficulty of the exercises.
It's definitely exciting. Even, I mean, I love exercise myself, especially body weight. I like weight training too. I prefer the body weight training actually for my physique. What is your favorite food at the moment? Are you into something in particular?
Pizza every day. I mean, like,
so
I would say actually, as of right now, I do have something more special because I found this restaurant here in Gijón, north of Spain, and they have vegan cheese, like high level vegan cheese, like cured vegan cheese, blue cheese, and brie cheese, and that's very good.
They are made out of nuts, maybe.
Yeah, they're made out of nuts.
Yes, that's
and they use the same how do you say in English, the mold of normal cheese, you know, the
green thingy.
Yeah, they use the same, so it tastes very, very good.
They're good then. And by any chance, do you use any vegan protein shakes or powders, anything?
No, and that's actually a bit of a journey as well, because when I started training, bodybuilding.com, first thing you do is buying protein shakes. So, but at the same time, like I don't know where it really comes from, but I always had a kind of natural approach to nutrition. I always thought that it's more important to get your nutrition from food rather than supplements. But I was having my protein shake after workout because I was thinking that it would be absorbed quicker because it was powder, right? And probably someone was advertising this, and I heard it, or maybe I just thought it myself. I don't remember. However, I found out that this is it's not true. It's absolutely not true. I also found that, well, first of all, I never had good experience in terms of digestion with the protein powders. First of all,
they are made of milk. Actually, the whey powder is the waste product of the dairy industry, so we can't digest properly dairy. So
yeah, exactly. We're not baby cows, right?
And what's your advice for, especially men, because you're a man, what's your advice for men who are hesitant to take the step for veganism because they think they are less men by going vegan? And that's the other way around, I guess.
I think if we go there and being less men, if we go vegan, it's definitely being brainwashed from society, because we know that I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. I'll be honest. It really doesn't make sense to me, that concept. However, to the people that are skeptical about going vegan, I'd say they should review the reason why they want to go vegan, and you know, try to understand.
watch documentaries. There are a lot of them.
Yeah, definitely watch documentaries, but I'm talking about the person that perhaps they already seen some documentaries, but they're skeptical. I actually had a conversation, this kind of conversation on my DMs last week. Okay, this person wanted to go vegan because he didn't want to be part of cruelty to animals. So I asked, cool, that's amazing. So what are your struggle? What's your problem? I say, because I don't know how to get, I don't know good recipes, and I don't know how to cook stuff that tastes good, or I don't have restaurants around me, stuff like that. And I thought, listen, like, if it's important for you to be out of this system that abuses animals, just go vegan first, and then find out along the way what you need to find out.
Exactly.
That's what I would say. Like, look inside you. Why do you want to be vegan? It's easy, important for you, right? And so the rest should come easy.
Definitely. And the very last question, Stefano, where can people find you on social medias if they want to contact you, maybe, for building muscles or to help them go vegan, whatever? Where can you be found?
Absolutely. If you want to contact me for any questions, anytime, I always have conversations. Stefano Vegan Calisthenics, so easy to remember.
Yes.
This is where I share more about nutrition training, also a bit about ethics. And then I got Stefano Rinaldo, my YouTube channel. There is where I share more of my activism for now. Is in Italian.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Many Maltese will understand a lot of Italian, so we're very fluent actually in Italian. And I will write all your details below this call, definitely, on my social medias. Thank you for this interview, Stefano. It was such a pleasure. And keep it up and keep spreading the word for veganism and for sports too.
Yes, absolutely. I will absolutely continue doing this, and thank you for inviting me. It's been fun.
Welcome.
All right.
Have a nice weekend.
You too.
Thanks.
Wow.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, it was an amazing interview. And I hope with this interview, many men will, and even women, will question some things in their life. And
as we always should. We should always ask, where are we going? What are we doing in our lives? We should always ask,
Yes, and hopefully Stefano showed you, like, you can be a man and be vegan, even for the animals, for the environment, for your health, whatever, but it is very much doable.
Definitely. I mean, this is now a bygone myth of a bygone era that you need meat to have muscles, you need meat to be manly, you need meat to be like whatever goes along with that. We don't need meat these days.
But it's 2022. I mean, let's leave cruelty out of our kitchen.
There is enough cruelty to go around in the world.
Yes, definitely. So, yes. I think we'll
that's I think our message for this upcoming year. We wish you to have the amazing 2022. Hopefully it will always be better than 2021.
Definitely.
And I think
just a positive mindset.
Yes. And remember, you reap what you sow. So make sure you sow a lot of good vibes, a lot of positive stuff. So, you'll sow good vibes and you'll reap actually good vibes and positive stuff.
Yes. Thank you for watching us.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Ciao.
Ciao.